everybody. Today I'm going to make this lovely thing that I call, sometimes people call it monkey bread, and sometimes people call it like pull-apart bread. But today I'm going to make this. It is great. So I just made my bread recipe. I'll show you my bread recipe on another day. But today, here's why I made this. This is a cool little towel that somebody gave me. Look at this. I wonder if wine misses me too. It does. It calls me sometimes. It's great. But today I made just my regular bread recipe. Come here and show this. Look at this. Ooh, isn't it beautiful? Now I got it to the point where we're going to punch it down. Watch. Ready? Watch. Ooh. Isn't that great? It's great. It's great. Today my camera lady is Mary. We'll show you Mary later. So I have just a little bit of flour here. I'm at my sister Pat's house. I'm so excited because we're at this festival here today. It's called S-Fest. It's like when all the estrogen comes together. Estrogen Festival. We're having an S-Fest. It's great. We'll invite you sometime. Just like my channel and we will invite you. So take a little bit of flour and we're going to punch it down. So we're going to flour the board. It's not a board, it's a counter, but you might have a board, who knows? So we're going to flour this up here and we're going to get this out. This is raised. If you get my bread recipe, this is after the bread has rised 1 hour and 15 minutes. You're like, oh, okay, sure, I just made your bread. Great. So you get it out and you punch it down. You think, oh my gosh, I just let it raise for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now I have to punch it down. Because it has to get that gluten going. So you beat it up and you roll it out and you're like, oh, that's so smooth. It's great. So you get it going like this and you just punch it all out. Now at this point in your bread, you can do so many things with it. Today, we're going to make pull-apart bread, and this is going to be an Italian one. Oh, it'll be so good. You're going to love it. You're going to be like, why don't I do this all the time? So what we do here is we have a bundt pan. It's not going to be a bundt cake. It's going to be a pull-apart, and we've greased it up. We just use a little butter flavor Crisco. You can use melted butter. You can do whatever you want, and I just have this guy, and I've got him all greased up. You can have your kids do it. But if your kids do it, then they're going to want to eat this. So we just have a bunch of women ready to do this. So I punch this guy down, and flour it up, punch it all down, and you go like this. So, and we're going to cut this baby up into little chunks. About smaller than a roll size, maybe about the size of a walnut. I don't do the size of a walnut because I'm allergic to walnuts. So I don't know what the size of walnuts are. But, you know, maybe about the size of whatever. You're going to make them, you don't really have to make them like really smooth roll size, but about like that. I don't know what size that is. Like that. About the size of inside of your hand. Okay? Now, we're going to pause this video. I'll be back in a minute because we're going to take a stick of butter. Here we go. And we're going to put it in a thing to melt it, you know, a big cup or something, and we're going to melt it. So I'll be right back, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Okay? Okay. Okay, so you get all your dough and you cut it up into little chunks about, you know, like I said, about the size of your inside of your hand. And you get a chunk of cheese. Now, some people use mozzarella, some people use cheddar. This is a Colby Jack. I like it. It looks like this. Mozzarella's a little stringy. That's good. It's Italian-y. But whatever you had. This is what I had. I had some mozzarella, but I decided to just use this today. So I have a stick of butter melted. And I have some Colby Jack, and I cut it into chunks like this. If you have some shredded, not a biggie. And then, look at this. I have some spices here. If you have like an Italian blend of spices, that's great. What I have here, here's where I'm gonna open this. I have some oregano, and a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic powder, basil, and rosemary. Come close and look at all this. And I just put it all, mix it up, and I just got it all ready in there. Doesn't it look just
it smells good.
Delicious, doesn't it? Oh, does it?
Yeah.
And I have some grated Parmesan, okay? So you get these little balls like this. You don't have to form them into good balls. And you cut these into chunks and put a chunk in there. If you want, you can put a piece of pepperoni in there. If you want to put sausage in there, cook your sausage up first because the sausage isn't going to cook in there. So cook the sausage up and then take a little jungly and put it in there. Now some people put some sauce in there. I don't like sauce in there because it just makes it too looby in there. The sauce will come when you're done. You'll pull it off and dunk it in the sauce. So put your cheese in here, put your little piece of meat in there, and then put this in there, and then pinch it closed like a little lovely package, okay? Then dunk it in your butter. And you're like, oh, good golly, that's a whole lot of butter. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so looby and delicious. Into the pan and repeat. Cheese inside, pinch it closed, into the butter, into the pan. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Your fingers get googly. I don't have a sense of smell. Story for another day. But my niece Mary, who's standing there, says, oh my gosh. Now you can dip them in there like this. Some people take this like this and just go right into the stuff like that. I'll show you what I do. Into the pan like this. We're gonna put it all in there. This, into the butter. Into the pan. Get a close up on this pan, Maris. It just doink, doink, doink. If you don't have one of these, it's like a blade. It cuts, it scrapes. It is like one of the most favorite kitchen things ever. I'll have to get one and put a link to where to buy it. They're the best. In with the cheese, pinch it closed, into the butter, lube it up, into the pan, pause, and then I'll show you what to do when there's a layer of them in there. Be right back. So I have this first layer in here. Can you see these up close here good? So these are all buttered and gooey. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna sprinkle it around like this. And then we're gonna add some cheese, because everything's gotta have cheese. More cheese, more cheese. Parmesan or Parmigiana Romana blend is good as well. So lots of more cheese, lots of more cheese. Then we're gonna add another layer of these babies. Into the butter, gooey butter. And another layer. Into the butter. Into the butter. Goo. Into the butter. And this butter, what it's gonna do is it's gonna go against this edge of this mold pan, and it's gonna make like a crust. Oh my gosh. You're gonna eat this and you're gonna be like, how can I ever eat little pizza bread kind of things any other way? Delish. There's other ways to make this. You can make it sweet. You can put raisins and or raisins and cranberries, walnuts, which I said, like again I said, I'm allergic to those, so don't bring them to my house. And brown sugar. I'll make it sometime. Show you. So good. So come over here and watch the plopping go in there, Maris. We've got some massive. So you don't want to go too high because this is gonna rise. This is bread, right? So we got about 3 of these left. How about right there? Now, I'm gonna dry my fingers off. Okay, so now we're gonna go, of course, more spices. Because when these rise, these spices are gonna go, you know, in the cracks. Now, what do we need? Cheese! More cheese, more cheese, more cheese, more cheese, more cheese, more cheese, more cheese. Like this. Now, I had a few more chunks of this cheese left. If you were using shredded, then you could just put more shredded. So I just have some more of these shreds. I'm just gonna stick them on here. You know, it'll melt. It'll just be gooey. Oh my gosh. Come close, Mary. Does that look good? It looks pretty. Like you could eat this now. Now, we're gonna take our towel. Remember our cute little towel. These are called cheeseclothy kind of towels. And we're gonna cover this up and we're gonna let it rise for 45 minutes. It's gonna, and then we're going to, within that 45 minutes, you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And then we're going to come back, and then we're going to, within that 45 minutes, we're going to make a little sauce. We're going to take the rest of these spices. We're not going to let it go to waste. And we're going to take just a can of regular tomato sauce, and we're going to make a little marinara dip. Okay, so 45 minutes, you guys rise. They're going to rise to the occasion because they're going to be eaten. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so it's over there rising, and we're going to mix up just a little bit of a dippy. You know, the little dippy, we pull and dippy. So I just have this little crappy can of tomato sauce, you know, whatever, just little crappy can. Poured it in a bowl. And then I have the spices that we used for putting over the bread. So I have, this is what I have in here. Oregano, salt, pepper, basil, rosemary, garlic. Gotta have the garlic. Gotta have the garlic. So I just put some in there, and I'm just mixing it around, and I'm just making it look like it's spiced. See? And you're like, well, don't you taste it? Nope, can't taste it. And then I'm gonna put some cheese in there. You can taste it if you want. I'm gonna put some cheese in there because the cheese kind of thickens it up and it makes it look good and makes it taste good, thickens it up, makes it groovy. And you're like, there's cheese in the bread? And there's cheese in this too, and it looks good. You can already buy a can of this stuff that's already mixed up. You're like, oh, there's a can of Hunt's that's what we like, and it's got 3 cheese, and it was only 88 cents at the grocery store. Groovy, buy that. Oh, there's a can of pizza sauce. Good. This stuff's like 59 cents, and you got stuff on your shelf. Then just mix it up yourself. So mix it up. Looks great like this. See? It'll be a great little dippy. You don't have to buy stuff that's already mixed up. Just grab your spices off your shelf, and then if you can taste. I can't taste. You can taste. Put your finger there. Good. And then if you want to taste it again, don't use that same finger. That's gross. Use a different finger and taste and see what it tastes like. You mix it up like this, get it good, and pop it in your microwave after your bread is done. Get a little warmth, and then everybody can just take their little ball and I'll show you eating them. They'll love it. So that's it. Just use your extra spices, put it in there. If it doesn't seem like enough, add a little bit more. You can see what it looks like, and people who can smell what it looks like. You can smell and see what it tastes like. So that's what you do. Make it look like this. You can see the chunkies in there. You can see the cheese, and you can see what it looks like. There you go. That's it. Okay, so the timer went off, and we're ready to go here. So we're gonna set this here. We're gonna bake these now. 350 degrees. We're gonna get this going here, and let's look at this. It's about ready to go in the oven. It's so exciting, watch. Look at that, Mary.
That looks delicious.
And then we're gonna get it in the oven at 350 degrees for about a half an hour. Once it goes in there and it's about a half an hour, we'll take a look at it and we'll see how it looks. This is gonna be so exciting. You're just gonna die. Look at it. So exciting. Okay, so it's been in there for 30 minutes, and after 20 minutes, I put a piece of foil on the top of it because it was getting a little brown. It looks like it's done, but you want to make sure it's done all the way through there. So let's take a look at what it's doing in here. Oh, it's steaming up my glasses!
Oh my.
Let's see what it did. Oh, poof-a-rooney. So come close, Mary. So let's look at it here. See, so ooh.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's pretty. So what we're gonna do is pull it off and eat it. So it looks good. Looks lovely after 30 minutes. Can't even see it. If you don't put so much in there, then it doesn't poof as much. But we really did the mother load here. And really poofed in. And look at this guy over here. He just wants to come out. We're gonna turn the oven off. How do you turn this oven off? I'm at my sister's.
Cancel
I don't
off.
even know how to turn the oven off.
Cancel off, under start.
Cancel off. There we go. And then we'll turn the light off too. So, okay, so there we go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it out and we're gonna just, the oven's off here, so we're just gonna let it cool and chill a little bit. And then we're gonna flip it out and put it on a plate. Some people just eat it right out of here like this and just pull it out of here. But if you don't get it out of the pan, it'll just keep cooking and cooking and cooking. So I have this plate here, and I'm going to put it on the plate, and we'll transfer it off into the plate after it cools a little bit. So we're just going to let it sit. I think my sister has a rack, and we're going to let it sit in the rack and let it chill out. But look at this piece here. It's just like, oh, I think Mary and I are going to have to eat that piece. Look at that piece. I think we're just gonna have to eat that piece. Boink. So we're just gonna pull this up here and set it up here on this rack and let it cool and chill out for a little bit. We'll clean that oven up later because boy, my sister's oven is super clean. She's not gonna want that. Look at this. Come over here, Mary. Look at this guy. Look at this. Each one of those have a piece of cheese inside of there. Yep, it looks good. It looks delicious, and we're gonna pop it out and put it here. You can even turn it upside down and just have it look like a bundt cake, and then you just pull it off. I think that's what we'll do. But in the meantime, we'll let this guy cool, and look at this. Look, come close. Look at this cheese in there. Got that nice, it looks hard, but that's that butter crust in there. Mm-hmm. Alrighty, that's what we got. Pull apart pizza-y kind of cheesy bread. Okay, this, just like this. We're gonna put it on a little plate like this, just so it can drop the crumbs on it like this. And we're gonna let it cool for just a little bit, and we're gonna just pull the pieces right out of here. We're gonna leave it in the pan, and sometimes if you grease the pan up a lot and it's not so much in it, you can flip it out and it'll come right out of the pan. If it doesn't want to come out, you can serve it right in the pan and pull apart, pull pieces out and come right out of the pan. We're gonna see how this one serves right out of the pan. We're gonna pull it apart and see how he goes and comes out right out of the pan. We'll see how it works. We'll get some pictures of it coming out right from the service right out of the pan. We'll see how that works once the girls get back with some other pieces. So we'll show you how it serves up in a little bit. Okay. Okay, so we ate the top of it. You saw it all brown and crunchy, and then flipped it out on a plate so it looks like a little bud cake, but we know it's not. We're gonna take it over here to the table, and we're gonna share it with Mary. This is Mary, who has been videotaping us. Okay, May. Here's the crunchy brown. Here's the crunchy brown stuff that was on the top. Okay, pull one off and dunk it in. Look how beautiful it is, but nope, not a cake, is it?
I can't get it.
Oh, there you go.
I don't want pie.
Okay, go. Dunk.
Look at that.
Mo fun in the kitchen.
Mo fun in the